My name is Dusty Cole, and welcome to the Business Builders Podcast, where we interview salespeople, entrepreneurs, and business owners and learn how they overcame challenges to build a successful business. So Dusty Cole with the Business Builders Podcast, and I'm so excited to welcome Jimmy Fazekas with Bluewater Exteriors. Thank you so much for your time and coming in and sharing. The goal of this podcast is to learn from the challenges that other entrepreneurs have had and how you've overcome those to build a successful business. And I know you have done that. So maybe just tell them a little bit about yourself to start, how you got in the business, et cetera.
Okay. Well, first, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you contacting me and letting me have the opportunity to speak with you.
You bet.
So basically, how I started was as a young age of 13. My dad got me out of the house summertime. He said, son, if you want to buy those Air Jordans, which they're coming back, they're popular again, those Air Jordans back in the day. So he said, you're going to have to get you some work done and pay for them yourself. So basically, I wanted those Air Jordans. So I started in the summer of school and helped hang seamless gutters. That's what the business we're in.
Okay.
And he kind of set the ground rules and woke me up in the morning. And from there went on to, when I was 16, giving quotes. He made me give quotes by myself with him not even there. And I was so nervous knocking on doors, talking to older folks about seamless gutters. And them looking at me like, does this kid really know what he's talking about?
Yep.
So from then on, when I was 20, he decided to move to Gulf Shores here. We're from North Alabama. We're from Gadsden, Alabama originally. And in 1990, he bought some property and built a house. In 96, he retired. I bought the company in North Alabama. And basically, his history just kind of been doing that most of my life.
Okay. Well, something already stuck out to me. So you're 16 years old, and you're going to doors basically selling.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
So obviously, I'm sure you could perform the work. Were you more the sales in the beginning, or were you more the tradesman?
More of the tradesman.
Okay.
The sales side of it, he was trying to prep me because he knew he was going to retire. Yeah. So he's like, I better hurry up and prep my son to be able to talk to people.
Yes.
So I knew more about how to do the installs. I wasn't great at the installs at 16, of course.
Yeah.
He had other people that helped me that made me better. So they were the main guys. I was kind of the second man, I guess you would say, behind the lead guy. But so knocking doors.
But you were selling.
Yes, sir.
I think it's important. Like, I don't think sometimes people realize that every business has some sort of form of sales.
Yes.
So, what does that look like in your business today? So how do you sell and get new business?
Today, sales has changed over the years. I know overall it's the same. You have to be in front of people. First off, you have to be in front of people. If you don't have a good marketing budget to try to get in front of people, you're not going to sell them because people's not going to know you. They're not going to buy from you if they don't know you.
Right.
That's first and foremost. And second is you have to be an industry leader. People have to really believe what you're promoting and what you're an expert at what you do.
Right.
If they don't believe that, they're not going to purchase from you. So that there's just so much to that side that I could go on and talk for hours about it. That I'm learning new stuff every day that really implement in our business with our consultants today.
So when you're 16 years old and you're out there selling and you don't know how to sell, what was some of the lessons you learned, like those first lessons, trying to convince a customer to buy from you?
Some of the first lessons I would believe would be the fact that my dad said, son, you go out there and you tell them what you know. They're going to listen because they don't know what you know. They don't know seamless gutters. They don't know that I've taught you this and here's the proper way to install it and here's how much footage a gutter per downspout and blah, blah, blah. And at first, being young, I was thinking, they're not going to listen to me. They know more than me about this. But they actually don't know more than you.
Right.
At that time, we didn't have internet, of course. Now there's internet and a lot of consumers can know more about what they're purchasing than they could back in 1990, 96 and all that. But I knew more than them. So I had to build my confidence, I think, more than anything to say, hey, Jimmy is going to go out there and he's going to give them the best opportunity. He's going to try to give them something that they need, and it's going to work. So basically just, have confidence is probably a big thing.
I think that's as even in our industry, real estate, we forget sometimes that we do hundreds of transactions. Well, the consumer does 1, 2, 3, 4 in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Right. So you be sure to speak in a way, like we can't speak to the consumer like we do in our office, because we do it so much. So was there a time when you kind of felt like you made the turn, like, okay, man, I really know what I'm doing now. Like, I really feel confident. You're almost faking it at first, right?
Yeah. Oh, you are faking to make it. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Can you remember that time?
Oh yeah, 100%. So when I bought my father out, it was 1996. Got married the same year, had my first child the same year, bought a business the same year. I was 20 years old. That's,
wow.
I mean, at 20 years old, you think, what do you know at 20? You really don't know anything. You think you know stuff. You don't know anything at 20.
Right.
So the only thing I was told was if I followed people that were successful and imaged and copied what they did, that would help me get there faster. So I kind of latched on. I went to my first home show in Orlando, and I can't remember what year it was. I would say it was probably 3 or 4 years after I bought the business. And I got to meet some interesting people that had home improvement companies that were doing millions of dollars. And to me, that's kind of where I wanted to head towards. I was like, I want to be like this guy right here.
Yep.
So I started contacting them, bugging them, wanting to know more, help me, train me, teach me what you know. And a lot of guys hooked up. They came back and they spent time with me, and some even came and visited me. And within 5-year period, we 10 times the business from when I bought it.
Yeah.
With the knowledge from these people across the whole country. So basically, getting to meet people that were ahead of what I was doing is really the turning point, is your question to answer that.
And a couple of things there. I mean, I just know that they made an impact on you, right?
100%. Still talk to them today.
And then the ability now that we can maybe do that for others. And that's an amazing thing, I think.
100%.
But that's great advice, I think. Just find somebody that's ahead of you, that's done it already.
Yes.
So the path is a little more clear.
Yes.
And you said asking questions. Oh my gosh. The first broker I worked for, the poor guy, I wear him out with so many questions and emails in the middle of the night. We were going to figure it out, and if he wasn't going to answer them, I was going to go ask somebody else.
Hey, that's the way to do it. Yeah. Ask the questions if you don't know for sure.
So a little bit about you moved down here from Gadsden, but a little bit maybe about your personal life up there. You said you were in law enforcement for a period of time.
I was actually. So I had a strong business up there going. There was a different name business up there. It was a family business. My granddad and my dad were in the seamless gutter industry. So by the way, you remember that time? You remember how rough the economy was here? I'm sure, with the oil spill in 10, it got worse. But up there in North Alabama was pretty rough. We had a great company, great business. The contractors just left town for us. So we went from, doing millions of dollars a year down to, 450,000. Hard to survive. Had to lay a lot of people off. Yeah. Eventually, I just got burned out, decided I wanted to get out of home improvement industry. I was like, this is never going to come back. The market's crashing and we're done and the whole world's going to blow up or whatever, So I got scared, so I was like, what do I want to do? And my whole life, I always thought I wanted to be in law enforcement. So I put in an application and, 6 months later, I was in law enforcement, the oldest guy at the police academy, and
wow.
I was so excited. It was the top 3 in my class in the police academy. And I was just on a roll. I thought I was going to make a good career in law enforcement. Then reality hit. Law enforcement's tough business, It's not a business, but it's tough. The mental day to day and the things you see day to day. And then you want to save the world, but you can't sometimes. So,
right.
And the pay mainly, I couldn't support my family, $13 an hour. I had a good lifestyle before, and going from a good lifestyle to that. So I decided, hey, I got to just change it. So I stayed in law enforcement 5 years and decided to get out in 2015.
Okay. So Then you moved down here?
I moved down here in 2015.
And
Yeah,
you
I came
started a
down.
new business here.
I started a business here, Bluewater Exteriors.
Immediately?
No, not right away.
Okay.
So I probably started Bluewater Exterior, I think it was August 17. So before that, I worked for a company before that me and my father used to own and sold in the early 2000s, a similar business.
Okay.
So I worked there about a year and a half and decided I needed to do my own thing. So
I think this is exactly what this podcast is about, right? So, I mean, you had some success, you experienced some challenges, not of your fault, really. The whole economy collapsed, and then you have to start over and build from scratch again.
Yes, sir.
What was that like?
Oh, man. I tell you what, if it wasn't for the challenges, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't be here today with Bluewater and what we're doing at Bluewater and my mindset. My mindset's changed 100%. For one is, when you're young, you're going to make mistakes, in business when you're young because you just don't have the experience. But when you get older, you learn from the experiences and that just makes you stronger. So our company's stronger because everybody at Bluewater's been through it and we got great people at Bluewater. But so just exciting.
Yeah.
Different.
So when you were, what was it like? I mean, when you first started Bluewater down here, how many employees? Just you?
Just me and my nephew,
Okay.
2017.
Yep. And you were doing all the work yourself?
Yes, I was doing all the installs. I was doing the sales, the books, everything.
Yep.
I had a vision. I knew what I wanted to do. I had a business plan. I was like, this is the way it's going to go.
You had a business
plan.
You
got to do a business plan. You got to know where you're going to, you got to know you got to write stuff down and know where you want to be in a year from now. If you don't write it down or don't think about it and just say, I'll just go see what happens.
Just going to go to work today.
It's not going to work out for you. You have to write. So I wrote all that down. I'm big on that kind of stuff and I had some contacts of people that knew me that wanted to work for me. So I had a little jump start and they wanted to work for me. They came to work for me and we just started growing from there.
Right. So I love that you had a business plan and you could envision your success.
Oh, yes.
And I think that's, a lot of businesses don't do that, right? They're just in the weeds all the time and we're guilty of it. But we do stop every year and evaluate a business plan, and look out. So you started growing, you started hiring, right? I mean, So how much growth have you had?
In 22, we grew 50%.
From last year?
From the year before, from 21.
Yeah.
So this 23.
In revenue?
Yeah, in revenue and in profit. Because profit to me is more important than revenue.
Yes.
If you put revenue first, you're just kidding yourself. You got to do the profit. This year we're projected 50% growth again this year.
Fantastic.
We're building systems and processes, and that's what most companies across the country don't do. That's small businesses.
Yeah.
And that right there is just
like what? What type of systems and processes?
When you got an operations manual and you got each individual, like if it's an office manager or operations manager or a sales consultant or a technician or whatever, they got to have job duties, know what they're supposed to do. If they have these job duties and you go by evaluating and making sure they're following those, it's going to speed up efficiency and profitability and all that. So you systems and processes.
So you've built that for your business and continue to build.
We're working on it. We're not totally done with it, but we're in the process of a lot of that. So,
but you know how important it is.
Oh, it's super. It's going to make whether you fail or not in business life for sure.
I've talked to some people that work for you over the years, and they all seem really happy, that working for you, So, where are you finding your employees?
That is a good question. No, actually, we find them. A special place can't tell you. No, really, it's all about recruiting. Yep. It's not got anything to do with putting putting info on Indeed or all these others. You got to recruit. You got to be like a college football coach. You know what I mean? You got to go after them. The good people are working right now. Right. If you expect to go find somebody that are just sitting around on Indeed looking for a job, those probably aren't the people you want to hire.
Okay.
So I'm big on recruiting and getting after it. I got a card in my wallet that says, "You've impressed me." So if I see somebody out, I give them a card and tell them a little bit about our company and to contact me. I'll be glad to talk with them.
And what type of positions do you hire to? So how many different types of skill sets do you hire? Sales, office,
We do sales.
Uh-huh.
We're looking for office, looking for sales, looking for technicians.
Mm-hmm.
We're always looking. Like every
Yeah.
day I'm looking. Doesn't mean I'm going to hire that person right away. We
Right.
normally do 2 interviews, but I'm always looking to hire great talent. And talent's not even as important as attitude and their character. That's who I hire for.
Mm-hmm. So you have technicians, you have salespeople, you have office people.
Yes.
You have marketing too.
Yes, I have marketing too. Yeah.
Anything else I'm missing as far as like categories to?
Not right now.
Okay.
At this point in our growth stage, that's where we're at right now.
How many employees do you have now?
To date, now, we're down a little bit. We have 12 people total right now.
Strong, yeah. Mm-hmm. And you do more than just gutters.
We do more than gutters. We do screen enclosures like pool and eyes, like over the pool. We do replacement windows. And we do like Bahama shutters and aluminum handrails, just exterior work. Yeah. Like that. Yep. More custom aluminum stuff.
Cool. Yep. So in your current status, where you are today in your business, what do you think your biggest challenge is?
Biggest challenge probably still is making sure we get the right people, because I want to grow. That 50% growth is going to take at least another 6 bodies, and I hate to say bodies, but 6 people to help achieve that. And you want to make sure you don't make a mistake and hire the wrong person, because if you get a bad apple in your business, it can be like a cancer and can eat away. And it eat the attitude from other people and the drive and the vision that every employee has.
100%. Your culture.
Yes.
You got to protect your culture.
Yeah, we've got great culture where we're at right now.
So why do you want to grow more?
Honestly,
candidly.
That's a good question. And, reading the book Why is something I'm working on right now. Okay. But really, it's just something I just want to accomplish. It's not even more or less. I feel like when Bluewater has great employees and a great culture, and the business is strong, and employees are taking care of their families, and if they're, being able to get their dreams, like somebody might want to buy a house, or somebody might want to buy boats or rental property. I had one just recently bought some rental property. When I see my employees being able to do that, it just gives me joy.
So much
I just
joy,
love it. I just love it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same way for us, that we want to impact the people positively at a large level. And the bigger you grow, to be honest, the harder it is to do that.
It is. I don't get to see everybody every day.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, and that's just the reality of it. But I think as long as the people in your company know your intent and your heart, that's important.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think your biggest accomplishment is in business?
Probably just the experience factor, just the fact that I've been through it since I was a young 13-year-old, to the challenges and the mistakes I made over the years, and that I try to fix that and not do it again. Because if you keep doing the same mistakes, then you're not learning.
So learning from the mistakes.
So I feel like just learning from the mistakes has been my biggest accomplishments. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I enjoy that. But as far as the business side of it that comes, and getting the right people is probably a big accomplishment for me. Getting the right employees at Bluewater. And
Jeff with you still?
Jeff's still with us. Yeah. He's doing very well.
With him. Yeah. See, I remember his name.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. I'll tell him you said, hey.
Yeah. So let's see here. So how is your sales constructed? Like, what do your salespeople do on a daily basis?
So our consultants on a daily basis, they normally get leads from the office, which shows our customers or prospects looking for our service. They call our office, and then they go out and they talk to them, show them the samples, give them the info, make sure it fits what they're looking for. Some customers they call and we can't help them. We send them to somebody else, or we say this is not something we can do. But on a day-to-day, the customer experience is where it's at. So they make sure that they stay on top of whatever they need to stay on top of to give the best customer experience. So whether that be, they go back and visit and drop Yeti cups off. They go back and visit and just make sure the installers, technicians did it the way that they talked about.
Right. That's so important.
So, yeah.
That is in the construction industry, that is definitely a shortfall. Is like you hire somebody, they come do the job. Maybe they do a pretty good job, but there's like those two things, right, that just weren't quite right. And you can't get them back to fix it. And it's so frustrating, right?
Yeah.
I know that's not you guys.
No. We've made some mistakes and you know, we're human too. And
sure.
The growth of it and making sure that we give the best customer experience is most important. More than anything, it doesn't matter about the money or anything. We're going to make sure the customer has a good experience.
How are you generating your leads? You know what?
So marketing is definitely number one. You have to market in business to stay in business. If you're not innovating in marketing, you're not going to stay in business. So we're spending money on marketing, and a lot of our marketing that we do is through social media, Google, Facebook ads. You know, our truck wraps are amazing. They get a lot of calls. Our truck wraps. I mean, we have 9 trucks running around.
Yeah.
So with all the trucks,
branding too.
It's branding. Yeah. People see us. Costs a lot of money to a brand, but it's well worth it. And we do a lot of former customers, which means that we've already done work for.
So past clients.
A lot of referrals.
So how are you staying in touch with these people that you've already done business with?
We've got them on an email list. So what we do is, I don't know, I'm sure y'all do the email list as well, but the email list is very valuable for the customer. If there's a new product, if there's something that we can discount, or if there's something that we can help them with as far as a maintenance plan for their gutter cleanouts or their screen room where the screens got loose or whatnot, we can help them. So we do the mail and list too, email.
That's smart. Do you do any like snail mail, like in their mailbox type stuff?
We do. Actually, I get some of your stuff too. It's good stuff too. So, and I like it. I see a big smile on there.
Yeah.
But we do direct mail. We do mass on direct mail. We try to target it down to, you know, a certain demographic to try to make it a little better for us.
Sure.
It's still less than 1% is what we found.
People that call are actually converting to business.
The calls and then converts.
Yeah.
You know,
about
probably
1% conversion.
Yeah. So it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still something you have to do. Yeah.
So you're doing a little bit of everything. Email,
I do a little,
Facebook, Google, mail.
We're on Pinterest.
Sounds like my business.
We're on YouTube. We're on, I mean, what are we not on? I don't know. My marketing director, Megan, handles all that. And we have a meeting once a week and we try to go through stuff to make it better, you know?
And I noticed you've done some like networking and things around the community.
Networking's huge.
Yeah.
Networking's probably, since I started Bluewater, networking has been the best. I would say networking and people getting to know you and know how you are, build a relationship with you. You can't beat that. That's the best.
Trust.
That's the best. And I try, our guys, the consultants and me, we try to hit every network marketing meeting we can. As far as the partners in growth, there's one in Daphne, there's one in Gulf Shores. We try to get them all.
Chamber, you the
chamber. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah. Are you like a sign up as a vendor with the Baldwin Association of Realtors? I don't even know.
I'm not on that.
I'm not sure if they do your trade or not.
I'm not. I need to check in on that.
Might check into that.
Hey, thank you for that gold nugget.
Yep, you're welcome. I'm not sure what type of vendors they take. I'm not sure. So
I'm sure construction.
So what strategies do you employ to retain employees?
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a great question. So basically have an employee where you appreciate them and you let them know is most important. I tell you what, I am learning, you know, over the years. Didn't do it when I was younger. I didn't know any better. That now is more important than ever. If you can show your appreciation to them, make sure they're hitting their goals. Make sure that you have meetings with them and make sure that they're happy what they're doing. They're not overly stressed or feel like, you know, the world's coming down on them because they can't get their stuff done at work.
Right.
Just
stay in good communication with them and tell them you love them and appreciate them.
Yeah. And I try to let them know that. We do Employee of the Year. That's something we do where the person that wins it gets a trip wherever they want to go.
Wow.
every year, once a year. We
I need
do.
to tighten up.
I know we do.
No, we take our team on a trip too. But
I know. I see those pictures are nice. We do bonuses, quarterly stuff, different stuff like that.
Right.
Just make them feel appreciated is best I can say.
Good.
Really,
it's good. So, what do you love most about your job or your company?
what I love about I just love business. Business is kind of like a game. I mean, it's a good game. I mean, it's not like I'm saying it's bad, but I enjoy it. Like some people will go home and they'll play video games.
Right.
I'll go home and work on business stuff.
Right.
I don't play video games.
You have a passion for it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want to be better at everything I do in the business.
Right.
I want to be better. I that's what I strive for every day. I read too much. I listen to many podcasts probably. And sometimes I get confused because I got all this knowledge in my head and I don't know what to do with it. And then I'll forget something. So
yep, a little bit of what did Jim Owen call it? Yeah. But no, you got to feed yourself. You got to feed yourself those good things.
I just love it.
So what do you dislike about it?
What I dislike about it, I would probably say I can't say that.
I stumped him. Finally got him.
You got me, Dusty. Jeez. I don't have a lot of dislikes about it.
You love everything.
I guess probably if all the processes and procedures and all the little small details I can't fix right away.
Right.
Sometimes that takes time to get stuff going in. When you have a new process you're trying to implement,
right?
Sometimes it takes time and I'm impatient.
Right.
So I don't want to wait 6 months or a year for something to come about.
So if you see a gap, a void in your business,
I want to
not
fix
being able
it
to
today.
fix it right away.
I want to fix it today.
So, I mean, I guess do you know your strengths and weaknesses though? Do you like hire to your weaknesses or anything like that?
Yeah. I got a lot of weaknesses. So my whole philosophy years ago was hire everybody better than me. If I hire everybody better than me in each category, we're gonna be great.
You're winning.
Yeah. So and everybody's better at me. And I got the best office manager, best operations manager. Consultants are awesome. My field supervisors, all better than me.
What I think you've done a great job and I'm running out of questions. But what you've done a great job is kind of what you said in the very beginning. Stand out as an expert in your field. When I think enclosures or Bluewater, there's two companies that I would think of. And you're definitely one of them, and that's hard to do is to think, when you think one product or service that someone thinks about you without even having to look it up. And so I commend you for that.
Well, thank you for that.
That's a lot of work you've done
to
create that. Anything else you just want to share?
Well, I appreciate you and everything you do in the community and all the hard work you're putting in, the marketing, the podcast, and just the knowledge you give everybody when you share your stuff. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time. And, good luck growing your business in 2023.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir. So thank you for tuning in to the Business Builders Podcast. We plan on releasing 2 new podcasts every month featuring local entrepreneurs, salespeople, and business owners. If you find our content valuable, please like, share, comment, tell us what you think, share your stories, and also subscribe.